The 939th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get a $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Heidi Ho Degenerinos, welcome to episode 939 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Mikey Raw, who commented on our Octagon 78 preview. 49 plus 43 equals 92.
I saw that. What does that mean?
I was hoping Gumby would know. That's Gumby Vreeland. I'm the Spicy Pimp Jeff Fox. Did we do math on that episode? See, all these episodes are blurs to me. So
was it the number of fights that
maybe someone
the
had
guy in the main event had? Remember, he had a weird number of fights, and I think you might have maybe you added wrong.
Probably. I say names wrong, I add wrong. That's what we're here for.
Mikey Raw's got you though. Don't worry about it.
Mikey Raw, you caught me, bro. You caught me. Thanks for coming to the show. As you can see by the title, we're covering Tuff-N-Uff. So I said to Gumby when I originally saw we were going to do Tuff-N-Uff, it's a quiet week in MMA. He said, "Oh no, this is a big event, right?" Tell the people.
Yeah, it's a fun Tuff-N-Uff event, right? Because we've got is it two title fights at the top?
Right. Yeah.
Two title fights at the top. Yeah. We got 3 guys who fought in the UFC, 1 who is on Contender Series and 1 on Contender Series. Yeah. Lots of fun stuff here. So it's not a particularly long card at the moment. Sometimes they add fights last second, but right now, I think I can only do 1 lightning round pick today because I think there's only 6 total fights. Yeah. But I'll give you a pick for that one for sure.
Yep. Well, it's good. People can't yell at us for not doing the whole episode this way, right? The whole fight card, yeah.
They really do expect some of those people really do expect like 6-hour episodes.
Yes, you're the hardcores of the hardcores, that's for sure. And we appreciate you.
And if you ever want an extra pick, like you go back to that LFA card and I don't have a pick. Some people did it for PFL Africa this last week and we're like, hey, you didn't give me a pick on this one. Just shout me out. I'll give you, even if I don't give you the full kind of breakdown I would on the show, I'll at least give you what I'm thinking about or what I know about the fighters.
MMA Gambling Podcast on YouTube or sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord in the fights channels where you can find us.
The best channel.
Hey, the best channel, the most active one, I think, for sure. All right. We're going to tell you, before we dive into things, about the NHL. The NHL is back, and so is the Hockey Gambling Podcast. Join Ryan and Joel as they break down the biggest games, storylines, awards, and best bets throughout the season. Let it slide. And Archer, their young protege Archer fills in sometimes when Joel's off burning himself. All right, Tuff-N-Uff 149 going down to Las Vegas on this coming Saturday, 10 p.m. So you can watch this with the UFC pay-per-view at the same time because you people have ADHD and you need to watch multiple things at the same time, I'm sure. UFC Fight Pass, Palms Casino Resort. Go to it if you want. In a cage, sadly, not a fancy structure. 6 fights on the card, as Gumby said, as of now, but you would probably think that they would add some extra ones.
Sometimes they add just some like AME fights to round it out.
And the lightning round guy that you're going to cover has a cowboy hat, sunglasses, and 2 belts around his shoulder. So
yeah,
that's going to be a fun one. All right,
I have a belt that looks just like one of those.
Do you? Look at you. What do you win a belt for? Grappling?
Yeah. One of his belts in that picture is just like a grappling belt, and it's from a.
So you have things in your mantle, is what you're saying?
I have 1 belt. I should
belt in your...
maybe if I beat you. No, maybe I'll just bring it next UFC episode. I'll just wear it because I'm the current champ.
Exactly, it's true. All right, here's some fun names. Shamil. I want to say Shish Kabob. That's not how I pronounce that guy. It's Shikhshabekov. It's Shikhshabekov. He's from the States, obviously. Troy Green from the United States as well. Troy, the Ghost Green, is 8-4. Oh, they're fighting at 170. 8-4 with 2 knockouts. He's been knocked out once. He also has some finishes. Win-loss win over his last 3. 2-3 over his last 5. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get the shirt, get the merch, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Use Fed at 185 and 205. Shikhshabekov. It's always easier when Gumby says it. He's 6-0. I should probably remember his name then. 1 knockout, 2 submissions. This is his debut in Tuff-N-Uff. He's not fought since December 2023. He's fed at 145, 5 years younger than the Ghost Green.
Yeah, I think this is one of those guys who decided he needed to get to an American promotion to get looked at by the UFC, and has been working on visa stuff. So as far as his layoff goes, I'm pretty sure it's sort of self-imposed while he looked to get cleared to fight in the States. He's great. The interesting thing about this fight, though, is that like one of their strengths is the other one's weakness. Pretty obviously, like Shikhshabekov, if you watch him strike, all arm punches. Not really flaily, but like really doesn't have much of his ass behind anything he throws. Troy Green, meanwhile, pretty smart boxer, really nice feints, moves forward, could definitely pick Shikhshabekov apart in terms of his striking. But then when you flip it around to the grappling side, Shikhshabekov, man, he is a really, really, really talented grappler. He gets legs really fast. And so, like, you know, you could be feinting, but he's going to duck under and get to those hips. And then in addition to that, too, really good control on top, really smart control. Uses his legs a lot in terms of controlling. Like he likes to like lace one of his opponent's legs to keep it like straight so he can't build back up and build a base. Just, you know, like really, really, really smart stuff from Shikhshabekov. And so, like, you know, it's sort of multifaceted in this fight, is that like it could go one way or the other. But when I've seen Troy Green try to defend a takedown, it leads me to believe he will probably get taken down at some point in this fight, and enough to lose the fight. He fought Szymon Smotritsky. You remember Szymon Smotritsky?
Yeah.
Smotritsky took him down a bunch of times, and personally, I don't rate Smotritsky's grappling all that high. You know, he's a guy who I think would benefit from striking more and grappling less. But he grappled against Troy Green and it worked. I think Shikhshabekov is probably a little bit better in that realm, even than Smotritsky. So as a result, I like Shikhshabekov. I think he's probably going to grind this one out.
Did you give us a line? Or not?
I don't think I did, but like probably negative 200. I think Shikhshabekov having the slightly better record probably favors him a bit. He's got the OV last name, which we, as you know, noted, definitely affects sports books. So I think between those two things, I think you're going to see him 2-1, maybe a touch higher.
Okay, cool. We're going up the card, 155 now. Miguel Suazo, Caleb Contreras, both Americans. Contreras is the Carrot. There's a good nickname. The Carrot is 1-2 with one submission. He's been knocked out once, submitted once, so he owes us rounds. He has lost 2 straight fights, both via finish. He's not won since November 2015. Yeah, November 2015 was his debut in MMA. He won, and then he has not won since. Used to fight at 145. Suazo, Suavecito, which means smooth or soft, which is not a good name for MMA. He's 1-0 with one.
I think it means
no contest.
Tiny Suazo.
Tiny Suazo, yes, he's little smooth.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's little member of his family.
Yeah, okay. Still, you don't want to be little in MMA. You got to be big. He is 1-0 with one no contest, one knockout. All those fights have taken place in Tuff-N-Uff. I don't think Contreras has fought in Tuff-N-Uff before, has he? I didn't mark that down, but I don't think he.
I can't remember. I think not.
Yeah,
oh, one of the 3 fights. One of the 3 fights, I think was.
TKO win in his last bout for Suazo. Used to fight at 170, 3 years younger than Contreras, 8 inches taller.
So, you know, obviously Suazo is going to be a big favorite. I think this one could grow up into like the negative 600 kind of range with like a plus 500 return on Contreras. Get this. I'm going to take the Carrot, though. This is going to be.
Take the Carrot.
This is going to be. I got to take the Carrot. This is going to be one of my big swings. You know, somebody ragged on me recently for, you know, all the big swings I've thrown out there. And I think over the last 2 years, I found that we're up like 28 units when the odds are plus 500 or better.
Oh, look at that.
Which is,
really?
I mean, like,
yeah.
It's insane. But some of that is, you know, you hit a 12-1 here, you hit a 8-1 here. Because we hit with that Lucas Brennan fight. We hit with Zafar Moshin, who was like 10-1 or something like that. You can miss 2 or 3 of them. Anyway, this is one of the ones I think is going to hit. And the reason why I think it's going to hit is I think Contreras' wrestling is good enough to just neutralize Suazo. Suazo is like a long, lanky striker. He's got some all right jiu-jitsu, but, you know, pretty much is just sort of learned to rely on his striking. You know, you mentioned he's 1-0-1 in his pro career. Both of those fights have ended in under a minute, which is why I think he's going to be a big favorite. Now, the win ended because he knocked the guy out really fast. The loss ended because he kicked some dude in the groin so hard 40 seconds into the fight that the fight ended. It's one of the most brutal nut shots I've ever seen. Kevin Howland even flinched when he saw it. So, you know, Suazo brings a lot of power, but I think it's almost to his own detriment because like his jiu-jitsu is really good and probably a better part of his game. He seems to be like falling in love with his hands more and more. And if you watch him on the when he was an amateur, like his striking's are right. It's, it's good in terms of the power, but it's like not particularly technical. And if he's lanky and throwing a lot of kicks, catch one of them and use it for a takedown, and Contreras is in business. And I know, Contreras' record looks kind of bad, but it's also like a little bit deceptive. One of those 2 recent losses he had like a weird front headlock position and his arm kind of got like stuck underneath his opponent. And his opponent like laid down on it and turned and he tapped. And I gotta tell you, I watched the fight back like 3 or 4 times, or the ending of the fight back 3 or 4 times. I have no idea what submission was going on there. And maybe it was a submission. Maybe it was like he popped his arm or, like hurt himself, or like, I still can't figure out what was going on in that situation. But it was awkward. I don't think Suazo's got like that, like awkward submission threat here, or something weird is going to happen to Contreras the second time. And he is a pretty damn good wrestler. Now, he's not fancy on the feet. He's not even particularly great on the feet, but like he also doesn't waste any time. He gets right to that takedown. He's got a real grind mindset. And I think here against Suazo, like I think it kind of plays up. I could see him going in and sort of like checking the prospect status here of Suazo before he gets too high up.
If the line's that big for a couple guys that aren't very experienced, then why not, right? If it ends up being the plus 500, yeah.
That's why we find winners here.
Exactly. All right, before we get to the next couple fights, let me tell you about MyBookie. We are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet in football and everything else. They're popular. They're second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Gumby. All the maybe not. You should say most events show up at MyBookie. I'm not going to put Tuff on them for sure, but most of the regional events we cover are there, and definitely the UFC that we'll be covering starting tomorrow will be over at mybookie.ag. And when you do head over there, make sure you use our promo code MMA SGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So it's mybookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. And we're also brought to you by NoVig, N-O-V-I-G. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. NoVig, you're getting the best prices. They got minus 103 lines over there. NoVig is available in 35 plus states. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with NoVig, promo code SGPN. All right, 2 down, a couple more coming up here for you. Here's a name you may know, Maki Pitolo. He's fighting Josenaldo Silva. They're fighting at 170. I'll tell you about Silva first. He is Naldo. 29-8, 17 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted 4 times. He's 0-1 in Tuff-N-Uff. He's won 4 of 5 though, 4 of 8. Also, did not win his last fight. He lost it. He's not won since July 2021. He's got multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. 0-1 to Bellator, RIP. 0-1 in WSOF. 0-1 in PFL. Has fought at 135, 145, 155, 2008 Pro MMA debut, 1-0 BKFC, and you got a draw in his professional boxing bout. Coconut Bombs with a Z is Pitolo, 15-11, 8 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out 4 times, submitted 5 times. He's 1-2 in Tuff-N-Uff. He's lost 2 straight. Before that, he won 2 straight, and he's gone 2-6 over his last 8. Last 2 losses, both via finish. He's not fought low since November 2023. He's not won since May 2022. 1-5 in the UFC. You should see a record like that. You can tell he had exciting fights because they kept him around. 1-0 in the Contender Series, 1-0 in Bellator, RIP. Regional champ, used to fight at 185, 2013 Pro MMA debut. 0-1 in bare knuckle MMA. 4 years younger than Silva, 2 inches taller.
Yeah, so I think Pitolo, I know he's 1-5 in the UFC, but like, probably going to be the favorite anyway. Yeah. Fighting a 39-year-old Brazilian with some miles on the tires too. Like, yeah, but maybe not too much because, he hasn't been doing good. I mean, like you mentioned a loss on Tuff-N-Uff last time out too. That was to Eric McConaughey. So like sort of justified that dude's in the UFC now and just picked up a win. So like, maybe we don't judge a loss to Eric McConaughey all that much. So I'm going to say like negative 180 maybe for Pitolo. And I'm going to pick him in this fight. Josenaldo Silva, he's like shown flashes of being really good, on the feet. He was, he fought James Nakashima at one point in time and was kind of giving him some trouble, but then Nakashima just got the wrestling going. And once Silva had to work his way up from the wrestling and work out of clinches and stuff, he looked gassed as hell. He just, I mean, like late in the fight, he wasn't there anymore. And that's when he starts to get like picked apart. I mean, like he's 39. You could say the same things about his 2 fights in Bellator. He fought like really good competition in Bellator. Is it Adam Borix? I remember him fighting. I think one of his fights is Adam Borix. And in that fight, like he got a little bit of his wrestling going. He did some like good cage control. And then like after a little bit of time, he was cooked and Borix just took his back and submitted. I'm almost positive it's Borix.
No, different guy. He only fought once in Bellator and he won. He beat Chris Cisneros.
Did he fight Adam Borix? Am I remembering that correctly?
Not in Bellator. No. Are you getting mixed up with the guy I mix him up with?
Man, I don't know. That's disappointing. Because I could have sworn that's who he fought. But no, he fought Josenaldo Silva. Adam Borix did. Yes, he did. Bellator 205.
Okay, right. I'm sorry.
What are you lying to me?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you lying to me? It made me second guess.
I looked up coconut bombs because I don't pay attention. You're right.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm like, I know for sure.
Somebody's always Silva right. Everyone just assume.
Yeah, Adam Borix. I'm like remembering the fight. And yeah, like he got some of his wrestling going in that fight too. And similar to, and I think he had back-to-back losses in Bellator, both by rear naked choke, both against decent competition. And he got going early in both of those fights and then like gassed out and almost like quit, like wanted to be submitted by the ends of them. And that's a problem here against Maki Pitolo. And it's not because I don't think he can have success in the feed. It's not because Maki Pitolo is ever going to win a fight by rear naked choke, but it is because when you're tired, Maki Pitolo is not done ever. This guy just swings for the freaking fences. Even, I mean, you mentioned it. How did he wind up 1-5 in the UFC?
Yeah.
He's fun as hell. He's always fun to watch. He brings it. He puts a pace on people. He wears you out. So, like, yes, Silva is probably not going to have to deal with any takedowns, nor is Maki, really. Like, we would probably just slug this one out on the feet. But unless Silva knocks him silly in the first 10 minutes, he won't be there at the end of the fight because he can't keep the same pace as Maki Pitolo. Pitolo is going to work his rib cage for the whole third round until he quits. So give me Maki Pitolo here, hopefully as a small favorite.
He's giving you the path to victory for him as well. Hopefully Maki is listening. All right, nothing but title fights the rest of the way. Co-main event, tough lightweight championship. Tsogookhuu,
Amarsanaa. Yeah.
Amarsanaa from Mongolia, Kenneth Cross from the United States. 5-minute rounds, 155. This belt is vacant. They don't have a champ, or they haven't had a champ for this weight
class. So Amarsanaa is was supposed to be in a title fight his last time out. I think it was Tuff-N-Uff 2 or 144. I think it was vacant then. His opponent missed weight by like 2 or 3 pounds. And for some reason, I think they took the title off the line for both of them, which is confusing. Because usually then like the other guy can win it and he can't.
Yeah.
But it looked like they took it off because like he won that fight, which was supposed to be a title fight, and he doesn't have the title. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
This is almost a PFL type of thing going on here, right?
It's very PFL-like, yes.
Right. We'll tell you about Cross first. The Boss Cross, 16-4, 6 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been submitted 4 times. So we know the path to victory over this guy. This is his debut in the promotion. He's won 3 straight and 10 of 11. TKO win in his last bout. He's not lost since April 2023. 1-0 Contender Series. Didn't get a contract though. 0-1 Bellator, RIP. Regional champ. Used to fight at 145 and 175. 4 years in England. Amarsanaa, 2 inches taller. The Mongol is 11-3 with 6 knockouts. He's been submitted once. 2-0 in Tuff-N-Uff. He's won 4 straight, 3 straight via TKO. He's not lost since June 2022. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. Used to fight at 170. Is he going to add another belt to his mantle here, Gumby?
Yeah, so this is interesting. I'm going to say Amarsanaa is a negative 145, 150 kind of favorite here. Cross did win on Contender Series. He's, has a pretty darn good resume, but like Amarsanaa should be the champ and has a real, not a nicer resume in terms of who he's fought, but like it's, more pretty looking. It's more undinged up. And, it's a pretty simple stylistic breakdown here. Kenneth Cross, grinder, wrestler, wants to be in a brawl every single time he fights. On the feet, he wants to just make this, 2 fights ago, he fought in XFC. It was just a bloody war of 2 guys putting their head on the center line and daring the other guy to hit it. And like both of them succeeded wildly well. So like, he can bring a grinding style, but he also likes to brawl and stuff like that. And, like, he's a fun dude to watch. It was actually kind of surprising that he won on Contender Series and didn't get a contract because of how fun he is. Granted, I'm pretty sure he was on, I think he was like a pandemic era guy for Contender Series, which was like when Dana was still being stingy with contracts.
Yeah.
So like that was probably it. I think he beat that Bolivian dude, right? Who's the Bolivian dude's name? Do you remember the? Do you know what I'm talking about? The little Bolivian grappler guy.
Of course, I don't remember. Gumby, I don't remember what happened yesterday.
I'm not going to remember this name, but
I'm going to look up. He beat Kevin Seiler, so I think you're wrong.
Bolivian.
Oh yeah,
dude.
that's the guy. Okay.
Yeah, Bolivian dude. Almost positive he's Bolivian. It's gonna be weird if he's not. Anyway,
American, probably.
No, definitely not. So Kenneth Cross, grinder, not a good boxer, but like a brawler. And Amarsanaa is just like, he's a karate specialist. He comes with, really good range, a real good stick to the body. He's kind of like surprised me a few times with his power in that, like, it looks like he's not trying to throw hard. And then you see the reaction from his opponent and you're like, damn, how hard must that have been? And the fight that reminded me of that the most was I went back and watched him knock out Justin James, Guitar Hero. And like, it looks like he didn't even punch him at one point in time. And James's eyes get like wide, like, oh no, what did I get myself into? And then he finishes Justin James a little bit later on. So like, real good stuff. I've liked his takedown defense. I think that's another big piece of this here because, like, from the striking perspective, after saying all of that, like if Kenneth Cross just leaves his head on the center line, he's going to get it knocked off. Cross comes in with a good game plan and shoots takedowns. I actually kind of like Amarsanaa's grappling defense too. Heavy hips, does a really good job of getting underhooks to get away. I think his defense probably holds up here too. So probably a slight favorite, but I'm going to take Tsogookhuu Amarsanaa.
All right, lock it in before we get to the main event and one late round play. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. We're brought to you by them, and it's a great place to play fantasy pick'em. You can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Available for a ton of sports. Gumby's got a sport and a play for you right now.
Yeah, I'm we're recording these a little ahead of time. Why don't I take the higher than on Cal Raleigh's hits, runs, and RBIs in the World Series Game 1?
Oh, look at you.
I know we're recording this on Sunday, but I have a feeling Cal Raleigh will be in Game 1 of the World Series rather quickly.
All right. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code MMASGPN. And Rhythm, RTHMM. Rhythm is crushing it in college football and NFL with picks and props. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Now I'm going to put Gumby on the spot again. How about NFL Week 8? Do you know that yet?
Yeah, well, let's go with the Thursday night game. I'll take the Chargers over the Vikings. Justin Herbert, despite having his ups and down moments this year, I think we'll tear apart that Vikings defense. So give me the Los Angeles Chargers.
All right, go to Rhythm, see if they agree with Gumby. You can use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm, RTHMM, and use promo code SGPN25. To the main event, a couple of names you will know for the Tough Featherweight Championship. The champion, Diego Brandão from Brazil. The challenger, Kai Kamaka III from the United States of America. 5-minute rounds, 1-45. The challenger, Kamaka, the Fighting Hawaiian. Didn't we just have a Fighting Hawaiian yesterday? We had the Hawaiian Punch yesterday. Okay. Yep. The Fighting Hawaiian is 16-6-1. 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out twice. 2-0 in this promotion, Tuff-N-Uff. He's won 2 straight and 7 of 8. He went 6-1 in Bellator or IP. Didn't fight Adam Borax, I checked. 1-2-1 in the UFC. I did check. 1-2-1 in the UFC, 2-1 in PFL. Used to fight at 135, 2012 Pro MMA debut. 1-0 as a pro kickboxer. 8 years younger than Brandão, 5 inches of reach advantage over him. The champ, DB, you can call him. Great nickname, his initials. 31-22. That equals 53, okay? 18 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been knocked out 12 times, submitted twice. 2-0 in the Ultimate, not the Ultimate Fighter. I knew I was going to do it eventually. 2-0 in Tuff-N-Uff. He's the champ. He's successfully defended his title once.
No, he wasn't the Ultimate Fighter.
He was, yeah, I haven't got to that part yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, he wasn't the
He's
Ultimate Fighter.
2-0 in Tuff-N-Uff, and the champ, and the one successful title defense. He's won 2 straight and 6 of 8. Both of his past 2 wins via TKO. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 6-4 in the UFC, 3-0 in the Ultimate Fighter, and the champion there. So he's the tough champ. And
remember who he beat?
Oh, it was a Brazil season. No, I don't remember. It wasn't.
I don't think it was. Was it a Brazilian season? I thought he beat. Didn't he beat Felipe Nover? Am I wrong about that?
No, Felipe Nover was around before that guy, was he not?
Oh,
now I'm gonna have to look it up.
No, Felipe Nover was the Dennis Bermudez season, right?
Yeah, which was a long time ago. Tough. Where is it? He fought Dennis Bermudez in the final.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
I had that backwards, but that's all right. I'll take it.
Yeah. He beat Brian Caraway and Steven Styler as well. So it was a good season for, at least for Brandão. So he's a Tuff-N-Uff champ and a former tough champ. You missed weight before at 145. Used to fight at 155. 2005 pro MMA debut. 0-1 as a pro grappler.
Felipe Nover was the one who was on the same season as Efrain Escudero.
Yes,
that's what I've got mixed up there. Yep. Shout out to Efrain Escudero. He was a fun one. Ryan Bader won the light heavyweight portion of that season, if I'm remembering correctly. Kai Kamaka, despite being the challenger here, I have to imagine is the favorite. He went 1-3 in the UFC, but like all competitive fights, he had his moments of Bellator and PFL, and he's been on a nice little run where he's clearly looking to get rehired by one of these big promotions. And Brandão kind of got brought into Tuff-N-Uff to lose to their prospect. Like they wanted Jamie Siraj to was it Jamie Siraj? I think it was Jamie Siraj.
Now you're gonna make you look something else up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who he won the title off of. They brought Brandão in to lose to him and hype him up and be like, oh, he beat a UFC veteran, send him to the UFC. And then Brandão took it to him. But despite that, I still think people think that Brandão is kind of washed at his age. He beat Kenneth in his last fight. So I think Kamaka will be the favorite, but Brandau's the champ. So probably not by too much. We'll say minus 150 to plus 135 for Brandão. I'm going to go Brandão. He's kind of turned me into a believer lately. I went back and I watched that fight with Siraj. I went back and I watched the Kenneth fight. And look, he's slower than he used to be. That's a fact about Diego Brandão. Is he's not the striker in terms of speed and in terms of output as he used to be. But he still hits so damn hard. And he's still he's still explosive in quick moments. If he's grappling, he's got a burst where he can be out of whatever you're putting him in. If he's striking, he's got one big explosive strike in him where he might not have the quickness to stick and move and get around. And now Kai Kamaka has been sticking and moving around, but he's kind of also always had trouble with takedowns. Brandão still being explosive adds that wrinkle to it, right? Kai Kamaka had lost him some fights in the UFC. I also think, despite the age, despite the mileage on Brandau's tires, I still think he hits harder. I think he's kind of got some of that late life power too, where he's now finding his Jim Miller hands. If you catch my drift. So
yeah, of course. Old man hands.
Yeah, old man strength. It's a real thing. So as much as I like Kai Kamaka and it would be fun to see him take a step forward again, I kind of think this is still Diego Brandau's fight. And what a run it would be if he beat Kai Kamaka, Kenneth and Jamie Siraj all right in a row here. Maybe we should start talking about Diego Brandão more.
Well, we have never stopped, right?
Not once.
Tough enough. All right, let's recap and we'll get you the lightning round play. He's got Brandão, he's got Amarsanaa, he has got Pitolo, he has got Contreras, he has got Shish Kebab. It's really Shish. I already forgot. Shikhshabekov. It's easier than it seems, as usual. Lightning round is that Ben Boom Pow. Are you picking the guy with the shades and the cowboy hat?
Yeah. I'm thinking. Yeah, his name is David Goldenberg. Is the guy you're talking about? I'm assuming it's an 0-0 fight versus an 0-0 fight, so it was not super easy to settle down between these two. But one of them, you can find some of his fights on Fight Pass because his pretty much his whole amateur career was with Tuff-N-Uff, and he eventually won the Tuff-N-Uff amateur belt in their weight class. And that one is Goldenberg. And then meanwhile, you look at the other guy, real spotty record, beat up in a bunch of AME promotions, somehow is turning pro anyway. This seems like, hey, thanks for fighting all those AME fights and selling all those tickets for us over the years, Mr. Goldenberg. We would very much like to set you up with something nice for your pro debut.
Yeah. All right, you're set now for Tuff-N-Uff. If more fights are added and you want winners, hit Gumby up. We're in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're on, of course, YouTube MMA Gambling Podcast. We're on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer, at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well. Check out my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. Enter my UFC Pick'em contest for this week's pay-per-view. Gumby's got Top Turtle MMA. It's lucky for people to be on that show. Who are the lucky people this week?
Yeah, we got Christian Natividad, who is fighting at LFA, which we broke down yesterday. You can go back and listen to yesterday's show and hear our thoughts on that fight. And then we also got Abdul Karim El Sawadi getting ready for his fight over in Abu Dhabi.
So check out Top Turtle. And of course, we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We'll be back tomorrow to start breaking down the UFC pay-per-view. It'll be the boss, Jeff Fox, Coconut Bombs, Gumby Vreeland. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.